Om Sri Mahaperiyava Sharanam.
Voice of God, Volume 1. Main title Vedic Religion. Chapter 34 Difference in Functions and Attitudes. Jati, a trade assigned to it and customs governing it, I had said. That is not correct.
It is not trade assigned to a particular jati.
The jati is there for carrying out a particular trade. Why did the Vedic religion tie up the twigs into small bundles? Why did it allocate the trades in such a manner that there is a varna for each trade? In Western countries, they talk of division of labor in the economic field, but they find they are not still able to put it in practice. If a society is to function, it is necessary that different trades are carried out. Therefore, they say there should be division of labor. But who can plan and decide how that so many people should do such and such a job?
And if the people conduct the trades in the proportion planned,
The society will function in a balanced manner. It is not possible. All people will compete for comfortable jobs. Wherever one sees there is illegitimate desire, bitterness resulting from rivalry, and what we actually see is
all types of
misconduct following that. When the same division of labor was followed in our country as a hereditary arrangement, there was peace, happiness, and satisfaction and amity till the arrangement got deranged. Today, even a millionaire is not contented. In those days, even a cobbler was happy with a sense of fulfillment. The new arrangement by which illegitimate desires have been aroused and people pushed into a state of discontent is supposed to be progress. There is talk everywhere that what has been done till now is not enough and that progress should be made with greater vigor. In those days, people did not cherish bad desires. People were living as small communities and therefore they were having close mutual relationship and they thought living together in this manner itself was great happiness. In addition, they were having faith in religion, devotion to God, family deities for each group, forms of worship for such deities. These were all matters of pride for them. Since they found fulfillment in all these, they did not hanker after more and more as in present days. The entire society was good. Although divided in several ways, they were together in the name of the Lord. Although each had his own family deity, there was a common big temple. Life of the people was centered around such temples and the festivals conducted there. In the name of the Lord, they lived together as his children. During Kar festival in the temple, the people of the Agraharam, Brahmin street, and those of the Harijan bastis pulled the car standing shoulder to shoulder. When we think of those peaceful days, we long for those days and wonder if they will come again. There was no heart burning, no abuses. That was the time when each one did his job in a simple way and was contented at heart. When we think about all these things, it would be wrong to say that although the Hindu society was divided as many, it withstood any number of attacks. It appears that because the society consisted of several divisions, it has been alive and kicking over the eons. When we see how the great religions,
which gave to its people
only the common dharmas, commonplace ethical code, died, and that there is fear about the future of the existing religions, it is Varna Dharma which has preserved Hindu religion and kept it young as ever. The Varna Dharma, which does not fasten all the twigs into one single bundle, but ties them to small bundles and fastens the small bundles together by bhakti to God. The religions which laid down the same dharma to everyone decayed and fell when they came under internal or external attacks by different dharmas. In India, since the common dharma was inclusive of several kinds of dharmas, when other religions rose internally or attacked from outside, there was scope for absorbing whatever was good in them and reject what deserved to be rejected. In our country, Buddhism and Jainism were born out of particular aspects of the Vedas. Because of this, Hindu religion absorbed and digested them. Since the dharmas were several and spread widely, it was possible to give place to new things and make them as its own. There was no need to have a hostile attitude towards them and quarrel with them. When the Muslims came, our people copied some of their customs, although it cannot be said that we have taken anything of philosophy from them. In some matters like dress, music, sculpture, painting, etc., the Mughal influence had its effect. That also got dissolved in our Vedic culture instead of standing aloof. This too occurred more in the north. The south, as far as possible, preserved its old ways without being subject to much Muslim influence. Later, with the advent of the British,
faith in the Vedic way
has been decreasing among all people all over the country without distinction of north and south. Why did the situation gradually change like this? How has it happened that all the published books of today are bitterly critical of the Varna Dharma?
as casteism.
Why is there widespread feeling that jati does harm to progress? Why has this feeling grown so much that one will be jailed if he mentions the word jati? I shall tell later to the extent I know who are all responsible for this. First of all, we have to see the reason why people say that Varna Dharma should be thrown away, lock, stock, and barrel. They seem to find a lot of inequality in Varna Dharma. They feel
That it should not be so.
and desire that all people be made equal and their status raised. But is this practicable? To get the answer to this, it is enough if one looks at other countries where there is no jati system. These countries are clear examples that it is impossible to level everything. If there is no inequality there,
There should not be class conflicts, is it not?
but is it so in actual life? Wherever we see, there is division of those who live in prosperity and those who are not so prosperous, and there is conflict between them. If our dharma is properly understood, No one is superior or inferior by virtue of jati.
Let us assume
That somehow such an opinion has been formed. Our duty is to change this opinion,
and not give up the system.
even if we accept the present thinking that inequality is due to jati and the bitterness that has resulted from it in other countries. This bitterness does exist among the social divisions. In those countries, even if there is no enmity because someone claims to be superior due to jati, there is hatred because the other man is superior because of money or his status. In America, no one is in want of food or clothes or shelter. It is said that even a servant owns a car. If this is so, should not everyone be contented? Even there, the person who owns one car feels jealous of the other who has two cars. One who has $1 million in the bank is jealous of the other who has 2 millions. Even if one is having all the necessities and comforts of life, if one has quarrel with the other who has more money for rides, concession, etc., what does it mean? It means that deep down
The concept of inequality exists.
there in some form, even if it is assumed that, as in the communist state, everyone is paid equally, even there one has to be an officer and another a clerk,
There could be state compulsion.
which can suppress open quarrels about differences, but so long as there is difference in positions and status, rivalry and jealousy will be there. It is in the communist countries only that competition arises at the highest levels, with the result that one who is a dictator today is nowhere on the next day, and some other person becomes the dictator because there is rivalry on account of position. All positions cannot be made equal. There will be superiority and inferiority in one way or the other. I even feel that instead of this kind of inequality, which leads to rivalry and jealousy, harmful to social amity, we may put up with the superiority and inferiority, which is wrongly thought to be the result of the hereditary arrangement. Because of this arrangement, was there not general peace in the country? Satisfaction for everyone and a contentment born out of the feeling.
This is what has come our way.
Really speaking, all the trades have come into existence only for the good of the society. It is not that one is superior or the other is inferior. Whatever work is undertaken, if it is done perfectly and without being a victim of desire, dedicated to God, there is no better remedy for purifying the mind. To think that one is superior and the other is inferior is utterly wrong. Even such wrong thinking does not matter. In other countries too, inequalities on a bigger scale exists. I wanted to tell that because of that, there are rivalries and conflicts of the kind that are not here. We have divided ourselves in several ways, but remained united and nurtured our civilization in a big way. Others, even while thinking that they were not divided, lacked unity, and therefore
Their civilizations collapsed.
in our country, There was difference only in the functions, but deep down there was unity, and therefore our civilization prospered. In other places, there was no difference in the functions, but on account of the mental disagreement and rivalry arising out of it, the indigenous civilizations were vanquished when foreign civilizations invaded. It is not practicable to make everything equal and keep everything high. It is of no use either if everything is divided in a haphazard manner. Our Dharma Shastras have given us a via media. I have come as its representative. That is why I say that in ritual observances there should be differences, but at heart there should be unity.
I say, please do not confuse the two.
Whatever differences there may be in external activities, if there is kindness at heart, there will be total peace in the country. That is how, in our country, society had remained peaceful over the eons. If each one carries out his hereditary duty without selfishness and with the attitude, we are doing this for the good of all people, there is no inequality. Whatever catastrophe happens, if commonplace dharmas are protected by one and all, and the special dharmas are protected by those for whom they are meant, we will never be wanting in anything. Om Sri Mahaperiyava Sharanam. Jai Jai Shankara. Hara Hara Shankara.